Hello everyone, it's Christopher again, another mediocre indie game developer. Recently, I entered a sewer that had rats worse than those found in New York, rats that, by the way, tend to fight over the slightest thing. Yes, I'm talking about Twitter. Jokes aside, when I logged into Twitter a couple of days ago, I found out that there seems to be a big controversy regarding the Godot game engine. As you probably already know from Twitter or YouTube videos, this all started when someone posted this tweet, indicating that they enjoy working too much. As a joke, Godot's community manager posted another tweet urging people to share their woke games. In response, many users predominantly said, they shouldn't focus on politics, they should just focus on developing the engine. But let me say that just because someone posts a tweet, it doesn't mean that they aren't working on fixing the engine. Following this, many of those people began to get blocked from Godot's official Twitter, Discord channels, and even from the official GitHub account. I think these actions are quite exaggerated, despicable, and unjustifiable by the people behind Godot, especially since many didn't personally offend anyone. Of course, there's always that one typical person who gets defensive with people they don't even know, but that's beside the point. The vast majority didn't deserve to be blocked, especially when some were even people who donated money monthly to keep the engine running. On top of this, Godot has not issued any proper apologies due to the unprofessionalism and poor management of the controversy. They only released a statement blaming the community, and to make matters worse, people who aren't even involved in game development have joined the drama, specifically, individuals whose content revolves around criticizing anything remotely woke, claiming that the engine and its community are completely dead. I think that is ridiculous and exaggerated, and these people seem to have contributed more to the snowball effect. However, despite this event, I believe that Godot is not going to disappear as many have thought and said, and let me explain why I think this. Godot is much more than a Twitter account. It's much more than a community manager who is probably in that position just because, like the rest of us, she needs the money and likely doesn't even care about the engine. Godot doesn't belong to a company. According to its license, Godot belongs to anyone who downloads it. You and I are the owners of the versions of Godot we've downloaded, and no one can take that away from us. The community owns Godot, so I think that as long as the right people who are truly interested in the project continue to contribute to its improvement, everything will keep going in a good direction. Plus, we can create our own channels to share content among ourselves, so we don't have to rely solely on official sources. Therefore, I believe we shouldn't let all the work done be ruined just because someone who doesn't share the same passion for video games, game development, or the engine. Regarding the forks that have emerged, I also have a few things to say. The fork that has gained the most attention is Redot, though there are others, like Sansdot from the Spanish community. But getting back to Redot, I think if they focus on adding improvements to the engine and those improvements are well received by the community, it could potentially surpass Godot in popularity. It's said that on Friday, October 4th, the people behind Redot were going to have a meeting with the community, but I'm not sure about that. I might check into it later. For now, I can say that I like the Redot logo more than the Godot logo, since I've always thought that although the Godot logo has a certain charm, it doesn't represent a professional product very well. It makes it look like something for kids. Of course, the Redot logo doesn't look very professional either, but I think it looks a bit better. I might later make a video reviewing Redot to see if it has any chance of rivaling Godot. However, based on what I've said earlier, I think Redot will only be relevant for a short time. Once people relax about what happened, they might return to Godot. We could take as an example the other controversy that happened a little over a year ago, the controversy with Unity. Although it was very different, I think the measures that Unity Technologies wanted to take regarding Unity's monetization were much worse and would have affected users of that game engine much more. As you know, there was a lot of uproar with people saying they would switch to Godot, and while many did switch to Godot after that controversy, Unity still retained a large portion of its users since, in the end, not many changed engines. I think the same could happen with Godot, and Redot will likely die out or remain with a small community. Feel free to leave your opinions about the controversy and Redot in the comments, as well as whether you think Godot will die or if Redot will replace it. We are definitely in an era where people tend to be quite attached and closed off to their ideas, where any display of a differing thought is usually taken negatively. I think we should stop viewing any comments about the LGBT community as propaganda and also stop seeing any sign of disinterest toward that community as a sign of phobia. However, given how people usually are, I don't think that will happen. But tell me, aren't you all a bit tired of this? Wouldn't you want us to understand each other better despite having different opinions?